Hello there, I am RezMela, lead designer of the RezMela system. We have two main objectives. The first objective is to make it easier for subject matter experts to create virtual learning environments very rapidly. And the second objective is to try to help the transfer of expertise gained in virtual environments into the real world situation. And we do that by providing facilities for adding real world information into the virtual world scenarios. So we are going to try to give examples of how we are trying to address those two. So in this example that's unfolding behind me here, behind my avatar, I've just loaded a scene that's going to that causes icons to appear on this board, and you can see in the distance in this example classroom with very transparent walls, you can see a city emerging, and this city has been designated as a flooded town, so the instructor has raised the water level so that everything is flooded, and you can see now that pretty much everything is in water. And one thing that I can say about these various objects is that they have various degrees of complexity, and it all depends on what you want to do with them. So if you have vehicles in there that you have added, these objects are fairly complex, and you can actually drive them alone or with others, and vehicles can range from cars to fire trucks and to helicopters and things like that. And you have another type of objects that would be that we call sensor objects that can be placed at various locations in this environment that would capture student performance information, and that's useful to see to measure competency as you are as students are doing the exercises. So two things are happening here. One is you have people in the theory space, you have opportunities for doing theoretical learning, and then students can actually move into those 3D environments and just interact and see if, and get an experience of things in those immersive situations. As I said, especially in teams and groups where learning can happen in more ways than if it were possible if you were inside a classroom facing a board with a PowerPoint presentation or a lecturer in the classroom. The second thing I wanted to present in those short 4 minutes is how we use Google Maps and Google Street View images to add relevance to our virtual training scenarios. Okay, so I'm going to clear this scene so that all these different icons are removed. So what we see now basically is an empty board, and this is what instructors would see when they go inside this this space. It's empty, and they can actually place objects in there to create the scene. Okay, so what I'll do is I'm going to load a scene that has those Google Map images so that we can talk a little bit about them. So you will see on the board very soon, as all these objects get placed, a big image which is a top view of the Arc de Triomphe, and I've placed other primitives, other objects on this board, just as massing primitives to look at architectural ideas. But let's just focus on the map at the moment. So you see the Google Map image here, and This has been obtained from Google services, and how you actually set this object to display the map. There's a button that you click on, you enter the coordinates of the place, or you can just type the address in and pops it pops this map image out. And in the distance, in the larger scale world, you also see the the image of the Arc de Triomphe, from top. All right, so the next thing that I'll show is what we call Google Pano objects that you can access from the visual library, and you can just find them here and select them and then place them on this board. And so we have one here, another one placed on opposite corners of the arc, and the students would be able to just go in there and see at those locations how things look like. All right, so it's not perfect from the sense of having a 3D models and everything like that, but we were looking at a very simple way of trying to use whatever existing technologies that we have and build a solution that actually works and that combines virtual reality, virtual training environments, and information from the real world, so that the training situations have more direct relevance to to real world setups, real world contexts. And that, in summary, describes the main aspects of our design. So to recap, we have an elevated classroom here that students and teachers can come to, and it's elevated for a reason, because you want people to be able to see out in the distance what's happening, so that they can check out the environment that they will be able to visit in a first person setting, from a first person point of view, and interact with their friends. They can interact with all these different objects that can be of various degrees of complexity, and we can add information from the web directly and into this environment in order to make more relevant virtual training exercises. Thank you for your attention.